Well, happy Memorial Day weekend. We got our flag flying high. Let's look at some car projects. Well, we're supposed to be into the 90s this week, and we were highs of 70 and 60 the week before. Green truck is caked in dust and dirt sitting out here in the shed. So it also became a catch-all when we remodeled the garage of stuff. So I think we're going to pop the doors, pull it outside, give it a rinse off, let it see some daylight, maybe drive it next week. So it's had a battery tender on it all winter, and I actually put a new battery in it last year. So I'm just going to give it a little cranky crank so that we get a little oil pressure in it. And now I'll go grab a little can of gas, give the carb a little squirt. She'll fire right off. Then we'll bring and feed all the fuel in. Yeah, the fuel filter's not even got any fuel in it yet, so we'll get some fuel in it and fire her off. All right, take our air cleaner off. Let's set that down over here for a second. How much nutrients is in this? 0 sugar. And we'll give her a little splash. Oh, that was way more than it needed. Oh, how about some more? There we go. Just see what happens. No pumping, no nothings. Hit the key. We might have to give her a little air. Well, that's a first. She's never had that problem. What do we got going? Well, fuel filter's got fuel in it. Choke is choked. It's spraying. I probably flooded it. Well, we missed the dramatics. I pumped, cranked. I even went and grabbed a spark plug wrench. Pulled spark plug, checked for spark, had spark, but the plugs were dry. They weren't even wet, and I thought I flooded it. Got in it, I pumped the living crap out of it, and as soon as I got done pumping it, hit the key, and it fired up first time. This truck is just dependable. I have never had a problem with this. This is the vehicle, like, if friends come out, I let anybody drive it. It just runs every time. You hit the key and it runs. It's just dependable as all get up. So that was the first time I've ever had problem with it starting. And honestly, it was just, it needed more fuel. I thought I had too much and I was second guessing myself. I should have just pumped the crap out of it and called it what it was. So it is running. Sounds fine. Just a little 318. Fun story, a little 318. I built this motor with my dad in high school. This motor was in my very first car. And when I built this truck, the motor and transmission from my very first car is what's in this truck. Sitting on a Dakota frame, that kind of thing. Let's pull it out and see if I can pull her out without hitting anything. Oil pressure's great, 75 pounds at idle. So it's a great little truck. All right. Got a Jeep right behind me I really don't want to hit. See if I can get out of here without having to move that. I think I'm gonna have to move the Jeep. It's a little close. It's right there in the mirror. Come on, girl. Get over the buck. Not a problem. Oh, she dirty. Hello, Mr. Jeep. We'll hose her off. Clean it here in a second. Let me get some sign light. All right. There she is. Dusty, dirty. But she's out for the year. I'll hose her off here in a second, get her good and clean. But cat tracks. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. Let's get that washed up, see what it looks like. Big news on the Ram Charger front. So let's see here. We are missing something. There's this whole like void in this space we are about to fix. I can go show us that. So, quick history story. Painted this a couple months ago. A year ago, it got its second or third engine. It's like second motor from me. When I bought this, the motor that was in it was just garbage. And so I popped a used engine out that I had in the shed, did a Craigslist rebuild, and just rattle canned it gaskets and threw it in. It blew a little oil, but while that motor was in it, the original engine, I took to my engine builder and we built just a good, stock, strong 360. Hydraulic cam, the whole thing. And when I asked him when we were building it, I said, you know, I'm very concerned about, you know, all these stories of cams going flat and not lasting, and I really don't want to spend a lot of money, but should we just bite the bullet, put a roller system in it? He's like, no, you should be fine with a hydraulic, be good to go. Drove this, threw the new motor in it, ran great, drove it for a few weeks. Then I took it to a friend of mine who's an engine tuner that basically, he's a god of carburetors, makes carburetors run like fuel injection, and I took it to him, had him do a tune-up on the motor, get the carburetor perfect, get the timing perfect, and it even ran even better. That was like on a Tuesday, and then I drove it to my cabin. At this point, had about 1,000 miles on that new engine, and it started backfiring. It lost power. It ran like crap. I ended up towing it home. When I got it home, I popped the valve covers off and some of the valves were rattling. So I instantly just thought, F, I smoked the cam, ruined the engine. I actually made a video and kind of showed it, but let's just say my language wasn't that great. I was not in a good mood and I never really posted any of it. But I popped the engine out, took the engine back to my engine builder. I didn't even take the tins off, didn't take the intake off. I was like, here, I want you to see what's wrong with it, tell me why it's not running right, and so we can kind of see what they're going to warranty. This is such a good little truck. Wanted to see what they were going to warranty and what they were going to do about it. They tore the engine down. Now this was back in September, so 9 months ago, almost 10 months ago. They pulled the engine down. Of course, he didn't get right to it because he had other things going on and he wasn't all about to eat the warranty on it type of thing. So after it sat in his shop for a few months, he finally tore it apart. And I'll show you here in a second. Like I said, when I pulled the engine out, I made that video, I was very not happy. About that same time, I had 2 or 3 other friends and people that I knew that just had brand new engines built, and all of them, their cams went out and they smoked their engine, their brand new motors, because the cams went flat and the hydraulic cam was gone. And so apparently I jumped to a conclusion that that's what happened to mine, because we tore it out, and here's the cam that was in that motor, and every lobe is fine. Little bit of hot spot, or spots on, but no wear, no problems. So this is the cam that was in the engine. Here are the push rods and lifters, and there's absolutely no problems with any of them. So now I basically have all these for a different engine if I want to put them in. I told them since it's pour apart, and I wanted a roller anyway, so now it has a roller cam, a full roller setup, and that's right over here. So not that. That is the Ford motor. But here she is, all rebuilt again. Because he tore it down, he completely tore it all the way down. We now have new main bearings. The only thing that's in this motor that's from the other motor is the pistons. So we put new rings in it. It's got now nice little roller rocker system. He had to put this down over here. He had to mill out the clearance holes for the push rods because they were hitting through those stock heads. I almost should have just put aluminum heads on, but once you fall down this rabbit hole, we're here, it is what it is. He does not like painted blocks or blue blocks or whatever that way, but it is a little Mopar going in there, so I am going to lift it up. I'm going to mask off the pan, and I had to tape over the valves because when I was driving home it was a little misty of rain, so I had a rag in it when it was in the back of the truck coming home to keep it dry and clean. I was on the old internet looking while this was being built, and I found a complete not a roller system, but a bore and stroke, the 360 to 405, do a stroker kit, and it was a complete stroker kit. It had all the parts, and by the time I got there to buy it, he sold it to somebody else. So I was going to build this into a stroker, or have him build it into a stroker, but it's basically just a little bit of an RV cam, now built again, now with roller, good 360. And we're going to stick this in next weekend. I think right now I'm just going to jack it up a little bit, throw some fresh blue paint on it, and get it ready for next weekend so it'll be ready to install, and we're going to stick that in. But that's the update on the Ram Charger, so I'm hoping within the next week to go. Ram Charger is going to be going vroom vroom, and that's real exciting. So all exciting news on that front. So saying this is an upside to have this cam and parts to put in a new 318 or a used 318 is not exactly an upside. I could have bought these parts way cheaper than having an engine built twice. Like I said, I jumped to a conclusion that I flattened the cams because 3 other people motors did, and I don't know why that motor did what it did. And so I took it to the engine guy and had him completely rebuilt it, but I just got done spraying some paint on it. So now I gotta check, maybe my distributor's bad, or I got a bad coil in the distributor. All the plugs look good. I am gonna put brand new plugs in it, so I just left the plugs in for the plugged holes. I'll pull them out for, before the engine goes on, that type of deal. Quick little deal here, I put a little bit of white paint in my timing mark. I have a hard time seeing timing when I do timing, so put some fresh black on that. And it's not exactly Mopar blue, but it'll look good enough in there, being it's rebuilt, and rebuilt again. So I will be putting that in next weekend. I'll show parts of that and the Ram Charger on the road. Let's go rinse down the green truck, get the green truck cleaned up, and show you how that looks without all the dirt on it. I'll give her a good cleaning. Hold my phone still and see some of the color in her. Give this just a quick rinse down, soap off, and that should be the end of that. Throw her in the garage, get it, just drive it for the week, kind of rotate some vehicles through. Could just get the pressure washer out, but honestly all this really needs is to get the hose rinsed down. Good old Moparts. Alright, probably don't need to watch somebody wash a vehicle, so I'll pause that for a second. Good bubbles and scrubbing along. Also, these used to be job rated. I filled in the word job, carved out the word fun, and that's what this guy is now. He's all fun rated, to the point of those wiper blades, they don't work. And let's say we're rinsing off this and water gets inside. Oh no, I hit the seats. Oh gee. That's all vinyl from boat upholstery. It was all done and built to get wet, so I can just take a rag and wipe it off. Because back to it's just fun. And this vinyl top that looks kind of soft and floppy, this has had 3 or 4 different versions of tops. This is just a vinyl top, but I hate it flapping in the wind. So I actually fiberglassed the underside, so it's actually rigid. That is actually the shape of it once it's been fiberglassed, which makes that a lot more fun screaming down the road. But there's no windows, no side glass or anything like that. Real good color. There's tons of ice or ice crystal in the paint. So she's sparkly. This was built 05-ish. And so it's probably one of my oldest complete vehicles that I've ever built. Okay, it's rinsing it down, towel it off real quick. Oh, and then I need to show a little update on that 392 that's in the blue car. I think I've figured out its overheat issues. I'll show you that here in a second. You definitely have to dry them off out in the sun. That's another thing about putting it in the truck or in the garage to keep it dry. I don't have the best water. I have hard water and it spots up, but there's the color. That's where Dennis does all my pinstriping. That's all freehand pinstriping by the great Dennis. He's getting up there in age and having a hard time doing it anymore, but I love the work that he did and still does. There she is, clean and washed off. Heck, good old Glory. How you doing up there, beautiful? Yep. All right, get that pulled in. And last little update. Well, nothing to update on the beast. She's just awesome as always. Mr. Cuda here is still having an overheat issue at high speeds. You get up to high speeds, the faster you go, the higher the RPM. The engine gets crazy hot, but the radiator does not. The fans don't come on. It builds a ton of pressure. I even have a 20-pound cap now and blew the cap off, or blew release off that on the drive home the other day. I was, let's just say, scooting with it, pushing it with my foot to the floor of the engine, and has a new water pump, has a new thermostat, has a new radiator, has new fans. Water pressure builds like mad, so we know the water pump's working because it's flowing like crazy because it pulls. As soon as you slow down, cools off instantly. And I started thinking about it. This lower hose, I can squeeze it. There's no spring in it. It's a soft hose. And when I rev it up at an idle, you can see this hose close down a little bit. This hose must be sucking closed and blocking the flow. I don't know for a fact, but all other radiator hoses typically have a spring in this, and this does not. So that is my next thing. I'm going to drain the fluid, find a spring that I can put in it, put a spring down in that hose on the inside, or get a completely different hose that's stiffer, fill this guy back up, take it back on the interstate, put my leg to the floor, and see what she does. That's all I got. Hope everyone had an absolutely great Memorial Day weekend. And to everyone, know what it's about. Thank you all. Enjoy your dinners.